Last week, on a flight to Phoenix, he ran into activist Adi Barkan, who suffers from ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. And Barkan challenged Flake to rise to the occasion.
Think about the legacy that you will have for my son and your grandchildren if you take your principles and turn them into votes. You can save my life. Please remember this conversation.
You're very up on everything.
My life depends on it.
Since then, Barkan has been busy lobbying members of Congress against that Republican tax bill, meeting with Flake again last night and with Senator Susan Collins before being arrested at a demonstration inside the Capitol. Adi Barkan joins me now. He works on economic and racial justice issues at the Center for Popular Democracy. Adi, let me start with this. I think we saw people mobilizing against ACA repeal, and the harm that they felt was going to happen was very tangible, Medicaid cuts, things like that. Corporate tax cuts feel a lot more abstract to people. Why are you so intent on this bill? What harm do you fear it will do?
Well, Chris, thanks for having me on. The most basic harm it would do is it would require immediate huge cuts to social spending, including Medicare disability, $400 billion over 10 years. And if those cuts go into effect as they will under the current law, I might not have access to the life-saving equipment and the drugs that could help buy me another year or 2 years or 3 years to see my little baby boy learn to read or shoot a basketball or go to first grade. And I'm desperate for that time. I paid into Medicare just like all of us pay in. You know, every 2 weeks, we make a commitment to one another and to our society that we're going to protect each other or in case tragedy strikes. And the Republicans are saying, Adi, you don't get that Medicare disability that you paid for because Donald Trump Jr. needs a tax cut for his real estate developments, and my hedge fund buddies on Wall Street, they need a tax cut too. So I think that's not okay, and I'm trying to do what I can to fight it.
You have had a lot of conversations with members of the Senate. You met with Collins and Flake. What's your assessment of where their heads are at and where the votes are at?
Well, I think that David and Jennifer and you had a really good conversation. It certainly seems to me like the script is repeating itself just like we've seen it all year long. McConnell and Ryan are lying, and you know they try to front like they have the votes, but then it turns out maybe they don't. And you know the same thing happened with ACA, right? They said that they were going to pass the bill 15 times, and every time disabled folks from ADAPT and young people and old people and doctors and nurses came here to raise their voices to say, no, we're not going to accept a society that leaves vulnerable people without health care. And time and again, we beat them. And we're going to do the same thing with that tax bill because it does have enormous health consequences for tens of millions of people. It'll really, Chris, it'll destroy the whole health insurance market. We can get into that if you want. You know it well.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this because I want to, you know, the Republicans say when you talk about PAYGO. So the idea is right now in law, when revenue goes down, you got to cut social spending. It's called PAYGO. And they say, don't worry about that. We're going to get that waived. All the cuts that you, Adi, are concerned about, all the cuts people out there are concerned about, trust us, it's not going to happen. Do you not trust them?
2 points. You're a joker, Chris. You are. 2 points. One, who in their right mind would ever trust Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, and Donald Trump? Because remember, Donald Trump has to sign that waiver of PAYGO.
Right.
How many times a day does he lie? It's for his own enrichment and advancement. So no, nobody trusts them and nobody should. And two, Ryan is going around saying next up on the chopping block is Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security. So how can they say we're gonna waive pay-go, but we're also gonna cut the living daylights out of this thing? It makes no sense. But Chris, can I just make a request to the American people? Because this really is an opportunity for folks to step up and reclaim our democracy. This building belongs to us. This Congress is ours. We have to renew our faith in our ability as a people to stand up for what we believe in and to change the course of this country. We can't allow Donald Trump and his lying and selfish sons to rip families apart, to steal our money, to take our health care away. It's up to us to stand up. Look, it was hard for me to come here. I'm disabled. It's been a really hard year. There were people here with me fighting by my side. Megan Anderson, she's almost totally paralyzed. She flew here from Cincinnati by herself. I mean, the lengths she went to fight. So I'm asking tonight, all Americans who care about this, stand up with me on Monday. It's my birthday. I don't know how many birthdays I have left. Stand up with me. Go to www.stopgoptaxscam.com. Chris, please have your producers put it up. StopGOPTaxScam.com. Come to Washington, raise your voices, be a part of the great American experiment in democracy. It's up to us to make it work. If we don't do it, K Street wins. If we don't raise our voices, the money wins. The only thing we have is people power. And if you can't come to D.C., do it in your home districts. Go to indivisibleguy.com and do it in your own district. Sorry I'm filibustering, Chris. It just matters so much.
I know, and you've earned the right to do it, if anyone has. I admire what you're doing. Adi Barkan, thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.